Hey guys, give it a minute, let some people get in here. I am not expecting a large crowd from my American friends and family tonight, as it is 4 in the morning here. And I just don't think I'm going to get a lot of people, but at the same time, they can go back and see this later. Anyway, I welcome anybody and everybody who's tuning in tonight. Kurtwood and KY Constrictors. Hey, Doug Monsters. How you doing, bro? Saw another scorpion tonight. We have unseasonably warm weather here. And I watched this toad stalk this scorpion like across the driveway when I was out walking the dog. And he walks right up to it, so I knew he was stalking prey. And I get over there, it's a little bark scorpion. And anyway, he got right up to it and he didn't eat it, but I did think of you because of the scorpions. Gary just got back from the deer stand. Any luck out there? And can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. I think it's good. Oh no, Doug. Sorry to hear that about your dad. I did a lot of caretaking for my dad before he passed away last year, and that stuff, man, taking care of parents, I gotta think it's kind of like taking care of kids. It's a mess. Man, Doug, you will be in my thoughts and prayers for sure. And I definitely will be thinking about you. Sorry to hear that, Gary. Gosh, yeah, I'm guessing, Gary, you were Eastern time zone for you to have already been in your deer stand and come back. We're about 2 hours from sunrise here. Anyway, I hope I'm not on a long time tonight because I am trying to get to bed earlier. It's just not working out. Hey, Grim Exotics, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. I need to check out your channel, Grim. I think I'm subbed to you. I'm not positive. Oh, gosh, Doug, I bet that was rough. Your sister being in the ER when that happened. I've actually I used to work at a hospital, and so I've kind of seen some situations like that before. Not like a parent coming in, but like one of my friends coming into the ER, and it was pretty horrific because I got called to pull their chart, and so I'm like, this can't be the same person that I know. Get up there, and sure enough, it was, and so that's pretty brutal. Doug, man, you're my bud. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stop in. I'm glad I get to talk to you once in a while on Instagram. Guys, I'm Wagoner County Snake Hunter. All one word, Wagoner, Wagoner, County Snake Hunter on Instagram. And I'm throwing that out there because of the message I'm getting ready to bring. I understand you, Gary. We had a huge, like, probably 16 point buck walk through my neighborhood the other day. and we've got woods all around our neighborhood, but you can't hunt it because you couldn't get a clear shot. So I'm sure that big guy knows he's safe here. It was a really big deer, one of the bigger ones I've seen. We see a lot of the others. I see a lot of smaller bucks and does around here. This thing was massive. It would have been a good kill for someone. Although they get that big, I'd have a problem shooting them because I'm thinking you get that big, you might as well stay out there, keep getting bigger. But I also understand different people have different opinions. Hey, thanks, Grim Exotics. Grim, please know this was my primary channel. Now it's become my secondary channel because my other channel monetized. So I've been working on getting video on that channel while it's monetized because I don't know if it'll be monetized forever. So I'm kind of like going back and forth, uploading the same videos to both channels, but releasing them over there first. So in case I have a dip in the action, I can go back to working on this channel. I'm really far away from monetization on this channel. I have the subs, I don't have the watch time. And that's why I keep doing lives. But anyway, I kind of wanted to address a topic that was kind of central to the reptile community. And oh, that's awesome, Gary. That's a lot of meat in the freezer. I mean, hey, I'm all about right now people learning how to hunt and fish, people continuing to hunt and fish, because who knows what's going on in this crazy country of ours at the moment. But I did want to talk about an issue that I've kind of noticed. It's probably in other communities as well, but I've noticed it a lot in the reptile community. As you guys know, I try to do a lot of footage of wild snakes and, at a minimum, snakes in natural type environments. Sometimes I do take a captive snake, or I borrow a captive snake from a friend, and and put it in a wild type setting and film it. I've done that before. I've generally been pretty honest about that in the descriptions. If you read the descriptions and think a little, you can get which ones are and which ones aren't. But either way, I'm wanting to produce video that someone like Nat Geo would want, or Animal Planet would want, or stuff like that. That's just what I'm about. I'm not about all this show and flash and music and graphics and stupid emojis. I hate them things. I hate all of that crap. What I like doing is taking a camera and sticking it in an animal's face. I do have some captive stuff I keep. I've got some turtles, and I used to have some tortoises, and that's where I'm going with this story. But people make a lot of assumptions about you online. They see an animal, and like my bull snake video on this channel. Hey Arturo, good to have you here. But like the bull snake video I have on this channel, I had 3 or 4 comments. It's like, why are you stressing the animal out so much? And it's doing this, and it's like, one, we removed it from someone's house who was headed for it with a shovel. We put it in, we bagged it. We took it in a field and photographed it before we released it. It exhibited no signs of stress while in the bag. When we plopped it out, we kind of saw why it got so big. It was a very dramatic bull snake, and it put on quite a show. Most people on my channel have seen that video. It's like over 5,000 views, which is actually good for me because I just don't get a lot of views. I think I get some great video, and just it doesn't always resonate. People don't always watch the whole thing. Stuff like that, it happens. But I would encourage people out there in YouTube land to think before you make a comment about an animal or the care of someone's animal, especially dealing with captives. And maybe a better strategy than leaving a stupid comment is maybe saying, hey, I've got a question. I'd like to discuss this with you. Can I email you? Can I, message you on Instagram? Can I message you on Facebook? Stuff like that. Once again, I'm Wagoner County Snake Hunter on Instagram. Anyone can hit me up there. Anyone can follow me there. I keep my Facebook real low, real tight. Used to have like over 1,200 friends. I'm down to like under 500 and working on getting it lower. I don't like Facebook anymore. I used to have fun with it, but anyway, it's just not what it used to be. Exactly, Doug. There's a lot of people that think they're educated, and there's a lot of people that think they know things when they don't. Thank you, Grim. I agree. And they think they know things when they actually don't. And it's kind of hilarious because this one guy, I'm not going to mention his name. I don't feel like I need to go there at this point in time. He left a stupid comment, and I kind of addressed it with him. And basically, I mean, my email's all over this channel. I'm not seeing you pop in my inbox. But, whenever I film any animal, I try to take amazing care to make the actual shoot as short as possible. There's a lot of herp photographers and herp videographers out there, and they're always saying in situ, in situ. And I'm sitting there kind of laughing because, like, a lot of times, no, people do find things in their location naturally as they're found, which is what in situ means. It's Latin. Hi, Winnie. Exactly, Doug. But, there's also a lot of staging that goes on, even with filming wild animals. I mean, 9 out of 10, any wild snake sees you, it's going to bolt. I've even known some people, I'm not going to mention names. No, it wasn't you, Hitcher. It wasn't you. You just keep doing what you're doing, bud, because it's brilliant. I am telling everybody about your channel, Hitcher. If you don't know my buddy Hitcher, get by his channel. He like herps in like the Arctic Circle or something, I think. He finds things, Russian rat snakes, Dion's rat snakes, tiger killbacks, things you never see field herped. This guy, Hitcher 111, finds them. And he's top notch, and he gets some great shots. He's a little down on his photography, but we're all our own worst critic. I'm one of his biggest fans. I love his photography. He gets some great shots. Yes, Hitcher, drop your link if you can, because Hitcher has stuff that's worth seeing. He's straight. He gets right to the point. He doesn't add like 3 hours of fluff or photo or video of him at the convenience store getting a big gulp before he goes out and herps, and some of the crap some people do that I don't like. And granted, some of those people have a lot of subs, a lot of likes. That's fine. That's their game. They do what they do. I do what I do. But anyway, a guy who is a fairly knowledgeable guy in the tortoise and turtle community, I think he knows both, kind of made a move on me about a short I had about a hingeback tortoise. And it's kind of funny because hingeback tortoises, at least the Holmes hingeback tortoises, are, hang on, Hitch, if you can't drop your link, I'll drop it for you. Because I want you to get some subs tonight, courtesy of me, because I just like your channel, bro. I just like your channel. And Doug's Monsters, I'm kind of with you. This is my buddy Hitcher 111. Sub his channel if you can. If you like what I do, you're going to like what he does. He does it in Russia, where it's like sunny for 2 months of the year. It is ridiculous, the kind of stuff he gets. And because of that, he doesn't get out and film as much. So he needs our help. He needs our subs. He needs our views. Hitcher 111. Hit him up. I've tried to tag him in some of my descriptions, And for some reason, I haven't been able to do that. Hitcher, I don't know if you can create your own like YouTube link or whatever where you can get tagged. But look at some of my other descriptions and some of my other videos. You'll see what I'm talking about. You got to go through some steps to figure that out, but I think it is worth it. Oh, come on, you got about 5 or 6 months a year. Okay, Hitch. Okay, my bad. Um, Hitch has got about 5 or 6 months a year. He does amazing things with those 5 to 6 months. I talk to everybody about Hitcher 111. He's just one of my favorite channels. I got turned on to him by Smet Logic. Smet Logic is insane. They like something that's good. Anyway, back to my story. I this guy made some comments about that tortoise doesn't look so good, um, and the thing about hingeback tortoises is whenever you put a photo or a video of them anywhere, people always say that tortoise looks so bad, and it's like, no, it's a hingeback. It's not supposed to look like a leopard tortoise or a sulcata. I'm sorry. And then some people even leave comments like, that turtle looks so horrible. And it's like, one, it's not a turtle, it's a tortoise. The fact that you don't know the difference really makes you not qualified to, make an assumption like that. I'm starting to think about just taking people like that and blocking them from my channel because I deal with enough stupidity. I don't need to deal with it on YouTube. And if I lose a few views or a sub or two over it, who cares? Because, it's just not worth the time and stress. But anyway, this one guy who's very knowledgeable in the realm of hingeback tortoises, at least I think he is, makes this move on two captive animals that I used to own. Now, I am not a tortoise expert, but I have an associate here in my state who was like the second or third person to breed the Holmes hingeback tortoise in captivity. Keep that in mind. This guy is like probably the second or third person to actually breed these animals in captivity. That's huge, because what they do is the wild caught ones come in all the time for $50. They get bought out of the African food markets. They get imported over here. Some of them still have the tether holes in their shells because they drill tether holes in them to and they're like a food item over there. And sadly, that's adding to their decline. I think it's very important that we breed them in captivity. And I bought a couple of them from this guy here in Oklahoma, who's a good guy. I just don't have a lot of reason to associate with him now at this point in time. He's been an old friend for years, but I kind of had reasons to get away from his organization. He's good people, though, and his organization's good. It's just not my thing right now. But anyway, this guy who, makes, this comment about, it looks like this tortoise is too dry, and it looks like his shell is, not been given the appropriate humidity and stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, like, I can't believe we're having this conversation. Because when I posted pictures to the pro group of my setup, because I was being mentored by this guy who's successfully breeding these things in captivity, I followed what he said to do to a T. Diet, humidity, temperatures. I know they're a low temperature species, or they like the 70s. They don't like it over 80. They're very... they're a forest species, I'll say that. So they're used to a lot of shade and a lot of humidity. Hey, Homestead, thank you for stopping by. I need to get caught up on your channel. Glad you stopped in. But anyway, I did a lot of research on the Holmes hingeback tortoise before I acquired these two from this gentleman. And what happened is one was like a 2012 hatchling, the next one was a 2013 hatchling. And I had them 5-6 years. Just this last year, I sent them to another guy I know who is very, very knowledgeable about hingeback tortoises. And I even asked like the pro tortoise groups, I mean, high level people, for references when I was moving them, because I didn't want to sell them, and I actually ended up gifting them actually. But keep that on the down low. Hey KY, I'm still logged in over on yours, or I was. But anyway, I wanted what was best for the animals, and because I was doing so much traveling, I couldn't really pay attention to their foggers and stuff anymore like I used to. But I posted pictures of the setups to like a pro group, um, including I think this same guy who made the move on me and the guy who bred the original tortoises. And he's like, "Oh, they look like they've been kept too dry and all this stuff." And like, well, I can understand how like it looks like that, but they were like at 75-80% humidity at all times. And if I remember correctly, that's what all the care sheets on them say, and that's what the people who were breeding them said. Mist them 2 or 3 times a day. Do a fogger if you can. And I started out doing the misting until I got like a humidifier set up for their enclosures. Put that into play. Gave them the proper diets. Hingeback tortoises eat, uh, night crawlers. They eat greens. They like mushrooms. They'll take crickets. They'll take an occasional mealworm or, what's the other one? Not the mealworm. The superworm. Superworm? Can't remember. It's been a while since I bought any. But anyway, I kind of like followed the care for the both of these tortoises to a T of what I was instructed to do. And one of them grew really fast. The younger one actually grew a lot quicker than the other one, and he had some split skews and things. And I mean, you're still dealing with a very, very rare captive bred animal. They're just now being bred. They're not like sulcatas and cherry foots and things like that, that are easier to breed in captivity. So, it's kind of like this is, I think, relatively new ground. The last 10, 15 years has just seen the advent of the captive bred hingeback tortoise family. Maybe it's been a little longer some places. I don't know. But I'm sitting there going, I got these guys, I obtained both specimens from an expert. One looks like he's a little stunted, like he was the runt of the litter or something. The other ones seemed to be doing just fine, and growing really well, and he got really big really quick. Or she, whichever one it was. I didn't get around to sexing them while I had them. But my temps were right, my humidity was right, the food choices. I took notes from the people who were working with them at TTPG, Turtle Tortoise Preservation Group, which is a good group. I think people should support them. They're my favorite turtle and tortoise group. Also, Ken Foose from Exotic Pets. He's now passed away. He's no longer with us. But he put out a care sheet on the same species, and it followed what these other guys were saying. And so basically, I don't know that this guy realizes this, but to me, I did everything the way I was instructed to by these senior people who were very, very knowledgeable in them. Kept the temperatures in the mid to high 70s. They didn't get in the 80s. Definitely gave them a varied diet, supplemented it with Missouri tortoise chow and stuff like that, which was what was recommended. Feed them 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes greens, throw in calcium supplements. Sometimes, do things like night crawlers, offer them crickets. They are really kind of like an omnivorous tortoise. Some tortoises like eat just vegetables, and it's very, very rare that they eat any meat whatsoever. These guys are not like that. They're kind of hunters. They will stalk prey. I've seen them do it. And these animals had every sign of being healthy, at least to the best of my knowledge, for the specimens that age. Now, keep in mind, I haven't seen a ton of photos of captive bred Holmes hingeback tortoises from that age. You know, where they're we've seen a lot of adults come into the pet trade. If you see a Holmes hingeback tortoise and it's an adult and it's for like $50 to $100, it was probably bought out of a food market or caught out of the wild in Africa. Really sad situation, but we do need to work with those, you know, in captivity. I mean, that's kind of where the USARK side of me really kicks in. And I'm not real big on keeping stuff these days. I just don't like to do it. Life's kind of pulled me a different direction, and I used to keep a lot more stuff. I used to have a ton of lizards, ton of turtles, a lot of different tortoises, several different snakes. I've got a handful of snakes today and just a few turtles left. But anyway, if you deduct everything this guy is like going after me at, you kind of wind up to, did this guy, like, if these animals are really not deformed, but like if this one has split scutes and is not growing that fast, yeah, good night, Doug, and I will be thinking about you. You know, it's kind of like, did this guy sell me a bad animal? And, you know, and I'm not going after him for that. I'm not really going there. I think it's amazing that he bred them at all, because it's my understanding after doing the reading and the research on this species that almost nobody breeds these guys in captivity. And maybe this guy who made the comment, maybe he's one of them. I don't doubt that he had good intentions. I really don't doubt that he had good intentions. But it's kind of like, you know, what I would have said is, hey, I've got a couple of concerns. Is there a way I can get a hold of you? Do you have an email? Can I message you on Instagram? Can I message you on Facebook? Something like that. But he just kind of went for it. And to me, it was kind of, I took it like, you know, like I'm the all knowledgeable one. When it comes to these animals, I don't doubt that he is. Don't take that the wrong way. I don't doubt this guy has a lot of knowledge about working with these. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I did what the pros said to do. I had the humidity levels good. I had their diet good. I had their temps good. He's like, you're probably keeping this animal too hot. Then I think he pulled this comment later, because I was looking for it earlier, couldn't find it. But and I unsubbed his channel because like I really kind of don't want to. I just I was subbed to this guy's channel and like actually watching his videos. So I was kind of a fan. But it's kind of like, you know, people who mouth off and don't either read the description or don't, you know, get accusatorial versus asking a question. You know, it's kind of different. Like going back to my bull snake video real quick, like, you know, that one guy who said, you know, quit stressing the animal out. He could have said, you know, did you need to photograph it for as long as you did? And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I just, you know, used half a tank of gas to save this animal's life. And even though the video is like 5 minutes, I think I filmed it for two, because I use like 2, 3 cameras sometimes. When I can plan ahead, when I can be ready and stuff, I'll like put a camera on the ground, one on a tripod, throw a GoPro on a selfie stick, and I'll get a lot of footage really quick. You have to know how to do that sometimes, especially dealing with wild animals, because you may not be able to obtain the shot for very long. A lot of animals I find in the wild that I film on the sides of the roads. Like I do a lot of road cruising and stuff. And so sometimes you will encounter someone who wants to kill the snake you're filming, or you don't want other people to know that snakes are there. So you got to get what you can really quick. And that's where multiple cameras and being able to deploy that strategy really quick comes in very useful. But Either way, I'm not a big name in the tortoise community. That's fine. There's some great people there. There's some not so great people there. But I just kind of find it funny that the guy, kind of puts me on blast and doesn't really stop and think, wait, you know, this guy knows this guy knows that guy. Maybe he looked me up on Facebook and realized that I knew some of the pros working with these animals. And I'd consider him a pro himself. I mean, I don't want to take away from anything he's done, other than making a comment before he, figures out what's going on. But you know, I understand the concept. Sometimes you see a lot of bad tortoises out there. You see like tortoises that maybe haven't got proper calcium, or maybe haven't got proper sunlight, maybe got the wrong diet. But at the same time, you don't always know that's the case from just a single video. Now, if they put that in the video and they say, hey, here's this plant eating tortoise, and I feed him raw hamburger meat. Okay, then you know then you know from watching someone's video that you're doing something wrong, and that can be pointed out to you. Once again, this guy didn't ask any questions. He just went on the move. And if he watches this video later, I hope you do, because you need to see it, because you came across like a tool, and you were someone that I would have shouted out. My channel has this channel right here has 3 times the sub his channel does. So it's like he could have made an ally. Instead, he kind of made not an enemy, but someone who's going to probably just avoid you in the future. A lot of times, you get footage, or you get photographs, or you get video, and people don't realize that, you had to go through this or that to maybe get the animal to a safe place, to where, it would be, where you could film it. And sometimes that's kind of like the sacrifice you make in wildlife filmmaking. It's been going on since the dawn of time. Marlon Perkins' Wild Kingdom did it back in the 60s. Marty Stouffer did it in the 70s and 80s. Everyone from BBC to Animal Planet to Nat Geo do it today. Nat Geo's been doing it for 50 years. Exactly, Hitcher. You make an incredible point. To videotape or photograph a snake without stressing out some, you would have to be shooting a dead animal. But then again, snakes like rattlesnakes, bull snakes, most of the stuff I deal with, they encounter predators in the wild. They have adapted to a certain amount of stress in their life. And if they get full grown, then they've overcome a lot of those challenges and beat off some predators. And once again, there are ethical concerns, like with videotaping things like timber rattlesnakes. They're very sensitive species. I like to film them when I can catch them on the move. I don't like to go to a known den site and film there, because, good one, Doug. Because if you film at a den site, I've known like one particular timber rattlesnake den site that a lot of people have been to, a lot of people have filmed or photographed and stuff, and there's a rookery area not far from it too. And interestingly enough, the timbers haven't left, but I understand that can happen. So once again, I like to, find those ones that are out on the move, that are kind of away from that area at the times they move, and film them there. I mean, you do want to minimize the stress to the animal. But, what about when it comes to filming captives? Like I talked to another buddy of mine who did education programs all over California before he kind of retired from it. And he was like, he said, I don't do these kinds of videos because the moment people see your caging, no matter what kind of caging it is, you're dead. And I thought about it, and I thought, he's got a point. Exactly, Hitcher. Pit vipers sit still for a while, but racers, rat snakes, some of those others, they do not wait, they bail. And so sometimes you have to grab them, sometimes you have to use a hook, sometimes you have to play with them a little to get them to be still. Once again, does the cost and benefit of educating people about these animals, outweigh the little bit of stress they go through? And then you release them and they just slither off and they don't just fall over and die. So I mean, um, it's kind of like you kind of got to think about these things a little deeper than just the average YouTube viewer, I guess. Trail cams to try and film some elusive species. I've thought of that before, Ariel. I've got that one timber rattlesnake den I know of. I would love to put a webcam there, but I would hate for someone else to find the webcam and find out there's a den there. So that's kind of catch 22. Also, snakes don't generate a lot of body heat. They're cold blooded animals. So it's not like using a trail cam to film a raccoon or a deer. That's a totally different story. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Jim. I wish I would have met him before he died. Marlon Perkins always like sat in the boat. We're gonna watch Jim wrestle this crocodile. I love Wild Kingdom. Um, I love to watch Wild Kingdom. I watched it growing up. I watch it today. I watched 2 episodes of it tonight because it's on RFD, which is a rural network. Um, right, exactly. There's a lot of Viv critics out there, and see you later, Homestead. Thank you for stopping by. But anyway, on to these two captive specimens. It's like one of them got the same diet, same temperatures, same humidity levels, same supplements, same vet visits as the other one. And the other one grew a lot faster and they both appear to be healthy. They both eat, they both go to food, they both exhibit the normal behaviors that I was told to look for. And once again, keep in mind, although I don't specialize in tortoises, I've worked with them for ages, and I know what's different about hingebacks versus what's different about things like sulcatas, Herman's tortoises, Russian tortoises. Um, I definitely gave they always had plenty of water. They would get daily soakings. Some people, it's kind of funny because this one guy who's supposedly this expert who made the move on me said they look like they've been kept too dry. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is really funny because other people in the pro group that are, I think this guy's peers, said I was kind of keeping them too wet and too humid and that I needed to let it dry up. And actually, I was kind of doing that because that's what the original owner of them said to do. He said, do some, flood the forest floor once in a while, and then let it dry up and stuff, which kind of mimics their natural habitat in West Africa, where they get, some rains for a while and then it's dry for a little bit, but it's always high humidity. And so I adapted kind of a humidifier type device that mimicked the guy who's breeding them that I acquired the animals from. And anyway, long story short, a lot of people really need to think before they mouth off on YouTube. I mean, they just really do. They don't always know the story behind the video. You don't always have to tell that, and then what makes them think they're entitled to know? I mean, like sometimes, like if I have a good friend, I might say, "Hey, how did you get this shot? What camera did you use? What settings did you use?" Um, and like with your good friends, you can kind of go there, but with some people, it's kind of almost like a trade secret. They don't want to give up that kind of information. But and that's the thing is like you're not really entitled to tell anybody anything. And I think going forward, like I said, that one guy, I can't remember his name, and I don't want to say it here anyway because I don't want people go bash him or start drama or anything because I'm just not about that. But dude, feel free to get a hold of me and talk to me. People know who I am around your community. I consider myself a fringe member of that community. You're neck deep in that community. There's two or three people on your friends list, I guarantee you, that know who I am. Let's discuss it. Probably in private is best because if you keep making jabs at me publicly, I'm going to start outing you to the people who are like as professional, if not more professional than you. Just because I'm kind of not gonna play the game. I'm giving you a chance to say, hey, there's a way to do this that's not socially inept. I don't care if I lose subs over this. A lot of the reptile community are socially inept people. They literally would, not all of them. That's kind of maybe too much of a general stereotypical type comment, but I've met a lot of them that are just blunt, crass, have no idea of what tact is. They, say rude and inappropriate things, sometimes to women, sometimes just at the wrong time. Um, exactly, Hitcher. You're kind of nailing it. Um, Once again, Hitcher, great guy, sub his channel. But it's like I've got a buddy named no, I'm not gonna go into his name, but he does a lot of live feeding videos of his rattlesnakes. Most everybody in my chat knows who he is. But I don't want to say his name because I don't want to inspire someone to go hate him. People are always talking about his water bowls being empty. Well, there's a few different points to consider. One, rattlesnakes are notorious about throwing sand in their water bowls. I've raised plenty of them. I can attest to that. They're notorious about dumping over their water bowls. A lot of rattlesnakes will only drink. Like some rattlesnakes, you can put a bowl of water in front of them and they won't touch it. But then you mist them and they'll coil up and drink off their own scales. Like that's how they collect dew in desert environments. And that's the only way they drink. That's the way they know how to drink. And that's what's natural for them. So it's your job as a keeper to go mist them every couple of days. And then with desert rattlesnakes, like I've seen a lot of people keep rattlesnakes poorly, and I'm not talking about this guy on YouTube. I'm talking about people that aren't on YouTube. I've seen people not feed or give rattlesnakes water for 6 months and they're fine. Yeah, kind of like it's like desert animals are adapted to not having a lot of water around, and I wouldn't doubt that the same goes for lizards, and desert tortoises. I know that desert tortoises. I've heard once again, not the tortoise expert, but I've heard with desert tortoises, like if you have to pick one up and move it out of the road, they say to pick it up and keep it like within 6 inches to the ground, because if you keep it up further or if you lift it up further than that, they will evacuate what water they have in their body, and they're storing that and they're using that in their body. Once again, I'm not a huge tortoise expert. This is just what I've read from other people who I believe to be tortoise experts. People who have worked with them for 40, 50 years. I kind of go with what they say. Right, Grim, and I think a lot of rattlesnakes. I can tell you, I've kept a lot of rattlesnakes. I keep some today, but I've kept a lot in the past. Tons, tons, and I very rarely have known or seen one that won't either, you know, take a dump in its water bowl after not long after feeding, or just knock it over, or won't drink out of it. They'll soak in it, and then they'll go out, and knock sand in it and stuff. I've just seen it over and over. So, and like everybody thinks they know something and they really don't. Hey, Boa man, how are you? But like, some people talk about, people's care of animals or the stress that, f- video video taping them puts on them. And what's kind of funny is with the element of video, you don't see this. You see the stress. You see what stress the animal goes through to get the video. See, a lot of these herp photographers, and I'm not ripping them at all. I think what they do is amazing. But like a lot of these herp photographers that take the photo of the king snake perfectly on the rock with the moon in the background. Okay, they caught the snake, they worked with it, they handled it until it decided to chill because no wild snake just sits there and lets you photograph it. It's very very rare that that happens, and especially with things like milk snakes, racers, um, a lot of probably rattlesnakes probably more so will let you get away with that because if you get too close they'll rattle or try to escape. But from a distance I've gotten some good shots of wild rattlesnakes that just kind of acted like, you're there, I'm here. If you come closer, I'll start warning you. Um, but rattlesnakes and bull snakes are like the only two I can think of that kind of really go there and kind of do the defensive display. Hognose snakes do the defensive display. They they don't always run when they see you. Sometimes they just flop over and start playing dead. And people are like, well, you stressed that animal out to get that shot. No, the one hognose display, wild hognose display I filmed, I saw the animal. I approached it with my camera and I turned the camera on. And I was lucky I did because I got the display. I never even touched the animal. I just got close to him. Now, once again, that same animal does that when a bobcat comes around, when a raccoon comes around, stuff like this. Exactly, Doug. I mean, most people, and the guy that I'm talking about with the water bowl issue, um, I know he takes really good care of his stuff. Someone in this chat may like him, may not like him, but I can tell you, I've been to the guy's place before. I've seen the way he takes care of things. He takes better care of his animals than a lot of other people that I've seen. And but exactly. And when interacting with a venomous species, it's not like working with a boa or a rat snake, where they crapped in their water bowl. I can just grab that out of there. No, you have to think about, you know, dealing with a venomous species. You have to get a set of tongs, or something to get the water bowl out. You also have to keep an eye on everything while this is going on. And, because you turn you turn your back for a second with a venomous animal and you're nailed. I used to keep a lot of boas and a lot of pythons, and things like that. I would just reach in, grab their water bowl. I wouldn't even close the cage a lot of times. I'd just go to the bathroom, dump it, refill it full of water, take it back, stick it back in. It's not like that when working with rattlesnakes. I use like a spray bottle, and once again, like Doug said, in nature they drink from some really disgusting water holes. And you try to keep their water as clean as possible and as fresh as possible. But you may not see that in the video. Exactly, Grim. You can change the water bowl every day, and it's still probably going to get dirty with some species. Not all, but with some. I've got a Mexican black king snake that he soaks in that thing every time he eats. He's just there. He doesn't usually go to the bathroom in it, but he will get in there. He will start shedding in there, and so it's kind of it's kind of this funny thing where, you know, people think they know about things and they don't, um, really, they don't see the whole picture. And you don't always want to take time out of the video to explain. Now, you're going to see this rattlesnake or this lizard, and it's got a dry water bowl. That's because I didn't, I'm going to give it some water after this feeding because that's about the only time it drinks. I mean, sometimes that's the case. And, but anyway, not really meaning to bring anybody else into it, but, it's just, I see people go after him a lot, and I'm kind of sitting there thinking, that's, you know, that's kind of, a trend of, like people just mouthing off about things they don't know what they're talking about. Boa man, you're right. I think like I had a rainbow boa the same way. He would soak every day, would defecate in it. And exactly, you never show his enclosure because of it, because you could like clean it every day. Give it 5 minutes, that animal's gonna have something dirty. Derek's Reptiles, my brother Derek. So glad to see you online, Derek. I really, really appreciate the help you gave me during the monetization process, Derek. I owe you one. I'll get you back, bud. Trust me, I will. But hey, Notorious Snake, I know who you are. I know who you are, dude. Good to see you here. I've been liking your videos. I've seen you've been releasing some videos lately. Good to see them, Notorious Snake. Definitely glad to have you in the house. But anyway, gang, I'm gonna probably kill it pretty quick. I kind of hope the dude does show back up to confront me, because like literally, you kind of made the move on me about some things, and I'm to the point of where it's like, okay, this was taken care of, that was taken care of, this was taken care of. What else is there other than the advice your people gave me? And I think he's realized that, because once again, I think, I went out there and looked for the comment earlier, couldn't find it. So, gotcha, Shrek. I haven't went to bed yet, Shrek. I'm getting ready to go to bed. So, anyway, if you replay this live if you want. If not, no worries. But I am putting this live into a live playlist. So, like, all my lives will be in a row. So, like, if ever I decide to try to monetize this channel or get aggressive about it, I can, throw out my live playlist and people can hit it and kind of do what we're doing for everybody else, like Kurtwood, KY, TNT. He recently broke it. Gang, I'm all about helping people get their watch hours. If you show up on my channel, I'm going to help you get your watch hours. And so, like right now, I think I'm logged into Kurtwood's and I'm logged into KY Constrictors, and definitely into helping you get the watch hours. Once again, I may ask for the favor back at some point, but on this channel, Hitcher, thank you for stopping by. I think he caught a couple of new subs out of tonight's live. Dude, no, I try to get the word about you out there. I really love your films, Hitcher. You do great stuff. Ariel, thank you. Thank you for all you've done. Bowman, thank you for the support. Grim Exotics, leave a comment or two on one of my videos next time you think about it, because I'm pretty sure, hang on, let me check. You could click on their name and you could check and see that you were subbed. Now it's just like you can't do that. But I'm pretty sure I am subbed to you, Grim Exotics, at least from this channel, if not from my other one. I'll make sure I get a hold of you. But anyway, hey, thank you, KY. I just want people to think about what they say before they say it, because I've been known to lose my patience and make someone look stupid. And unfortunately, this one guy, I'm kind of cutting some grace and slack because I really do hope we can carry on the conversation somewhere other than YouTube. Facebook Messenger, Instagram, wide open. Because once again, dude, with the animal that you went after and criticized me for the care of, I was doing everything the pros told me to do. Were the animals bad? You're kind of leaving that to the only possibility that's out there and open. So I would just think about what you say before you go there and say it. I really would. But anyway, I'm not going to waste much more time on it. I just wanted to get that off my chest while I was thinking about it, and I thought it would make for a good live, something I could talk about and keep going. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. Really appreciate you, Derek. Derek, you just have been my hero in this whole thing. Checks hitting the bank, man. Checks are hitting the bank. Eric and Parrish making dollars. Bam. Big reptile talk in the house. Go show Derek some love. Yes, Derek's Reptiles. Dude interviews the coolest people. Derek's Reptiles. He totally interviews the coolest people. And I really enjoy his lives and his interviews. I don't know if they're lives or their lives and interviews. They're interviews for sure. Go check out Derek's Reptiles. Go help KY Constrictors get his watch time. Go bump him up above Kurt because Kurt's not in here tonight. So we're gonna throw Kurt under the bus. Just joking, Kurt Wood. I'm rolling your life too. But anyway, I just think people need to think about what they say before they make a move. Maybe do some research, and I've done it too. I'll be the first to say I've shot my mouth off about something, and then I thought, wait, I really should have checked this out a little bit before I went there. So, we all live and learn, and that's why I'm trying to cut this guy some slack, because maybe he's figured out that I know who I know, and that, maybe he's figured out that I, do my best to take immaculate care of anything that's in my collection. I'm getting to where I'm pretty much through with anything high maintenance. I've either sold it off or gifted it to someone, just because I literally do not have the time to provide the kind of care that some species, like your high humidity species, need. Things like that. I like the desert stuff. Just water, food, and heat. I've got a heated storage unit that I keep things in. It's climate controlled. It's yeah, right, KY. The heck with Kurt, man. Nah, Kurt. I think Kurt's good people. I don't know him real well, but he's a good dude. I think he's a good dude. I mean, from what I've seen, he's a good dude. Don't know him as well as like I know a lot of other people, but he's gonna break his 4K soon. So it's is what it is. But anyway, and who knows? Maybe the guy responds to this live. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he sees it, and hopefully he hits me up because, like I said, I did my homework. Did I get bad information? I mean, from some of the top people in one of your organizations? Think about that. Guys, take care. I'll see y'all later. I will be in touch. Thank you all for being here tonight. Gang, I'm going to try and go get some bed. Or going to go try to get some sleep. Shrek, you have a good day, whatever you do, man. Go make another cool video. I'll watch it. Derek, you hang in there. I'll be in touch, guys. See you later. Bye.